I've downloaded a retro database for FM24 that allows us to jump back in time to the season of 2007-2008.
Champions of the world! And he spotted that! Oh, and a Jordan! Leicester City! Oh, and Jarrett slipped, and Denver Bar's in here. Aguero!
Picture the scene. Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United team are reigning champions with Rooney and Ronaldo kicking about for them. Liverpool have just been beaten by AC Milan in the Champions League final. And Manchester City, well, they'd only just been formed. In today's video, I've simulated from this point back in time all the way up until the present day. Will this alternate FM universe reflect real life? Will Manchester City win those 7 Premier League titles? Would Manchester United be able to add their 3 extra before their post-Fergie downfall? And would scientists stumble across the unique magic formula needed to create Erling Haaland? I guess in today's video, we'll find out all of that and more. And one thing that is for certain, it gets weird. Welcome to the Premier League season of 2007-2008, where you look at this Premier League table and you can see teams like Bolton and Derby and Middlesbrough and Portsmouth and Reading in our Premier League table. It is so fun to go back in time with these databases, and I feel like we should start today's video with a shout out to the creator of this database. He's a bit of a legend in these parts. It is the Mad Scientist. The link to his database, if you want to go and download it, and all of his links are going to be in the description of today's video. Straight away, all credit to him and his team of people who work on this, because it is so much fun. I feel like we could do a whole video just exploring the database and just looking at who plays for which team. I'm obviously drawn straight away to Liverpool as a Liverpool fan, and I can see that. Have a look at this side. You got Fernando Torres up front, and have a look at his profile as a striker, as a 23-year-old at Liverpool. This is his first season, I believe, at Liverpool. This was when they first signed him, and what a career he went on to have. He's got like Ryan Babel, Harry Kewell, Jermaine Pennant's there. Rafa Benitez is the manager. We're going to use this database to try and simulate world football to see if what happens in this save reflects in any way what actually happened in real life. We're going to go all the way up from 2007, 2008. So starting in 2007, which is 2023 for us, up until the present day, the 13th of March, 2024, and just see, the Liverpool win a title? Do Manchester City become the powerhouse that they are? And I know, because I've had a look at it, we're going to come across some really funny things and really just dive into the narrative that is created in this world. I want to say straight away, by the way, and we will have a look at some of these teams here. I want to say I haven't updated my my face packs because I was thinking about doing it and then it was just a bit of a faff. So we do have some very old looking players, although Sami Hyypiä was quite old at this point at 33. Wasn't quite this old though. So some of the photos and with the face packs that we've got are going to look a little bit out of place, but you'll bear with me on that one, won't you? And of course the kits and everything won't quite reflect it. We have a look at this Premier League table. I'm going to look at the season preview. Chelsea are favourites. There's the Chelsea team with players like Didier Drogba up front. What a powerhouse he was. Petr Cech in goal, John Terry. This was like elite Chelsea era, wasn't it? Joe Cole on the right hand side, Ballack, Lampard, Essien. Manchester United team, they are the team that are current champions, and actually in real life they do actually win this first season. They win this season and then the next one. Win the title in this season and then the next one, with Rooney in there, Cristiano Ronaldo. I feel like you probably want to see him. There's not so many players that are still playing from this database here. Ronaldo is one of those, of course. Look at this pace and acceleration and dribbling of 20 in there. Flair of 20, as you would expect. He's only 22 at this stage. We go down the teams. I'm sure you want to see some of these. There's the Arsenal team with Aboué and Van Persie and Eduardo and Fabregas in there. How's Fabregas looking at this stage? Not the quickest, but otherwise, yeah, pretty good. A wonder kid at this stage too. Look, 20 years old. I might do a little save and do a video where I do like a Liverpool rebuild, because that tickles my fancy a little bit. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments down below. If you want to see more content on this database, also let me know in the comments down below. And whilst you're here, whilst I'm saying leave some comments, subscribe to the channel, because that would be really, really nice, wouldn't it? And like the video, because it helps to push it out to a wider audience. Let's get ourselves straight into this I'm going to go and simulate from this point here with Chelsea as favourites. I'm going to go and simulate the next 5 seasons. We're going to see some of the movers and the shakers and see who signs who wins the league, who wins the Champions League, and all of that good stuff, as well as finding out the Derby get more than their 11 points that they actually managed in this season here. They were woeful, and a lot of conversation this year about whether Sheffield United are actually worse than them. Only 11 points for them. Can they beat that? Let's go 5 seasons in and find out how we're looking in this re-simulation of real life. Oh, and another thing before we do go and do that, let me jump in really quickly. I've managed to put the mod in that is available for this database that means that all of the real life players spawn in as new gens. So players like Trent Alexander-Arnold will spawn in at Liverpool as a new gen player because it's all coded in a way that works. I don't pretend to know how it works, but you will get real life players coming through, but they'll appear as new gens, which is really quite fun. So let's go 5 years in and maybe we'll get a few of those new gens straight away. I'll see you in 2028 in this save, which will be 2012 in real life. See you then. Okay, welcome to the year 2012, I believe. It's now 2028 in the game. We've gone 5 years into our simulation, and we have our Premier League winners in that time. You'll notice on the right hand side here, look, there's been a jump from 2006, 2007 to 2023 to 2024. It's these 5 seasons here. I've actually made a list of all of the Premier League winners and the Euros winners and the World Cup winners, as well as the Champions League winners, so that we can compare them to real life, as well as having a look at some of the players that just pop up naturally in here. For example, Steven Gerrard, as a new season has just started, is the Premier League top scorer at the moment. Just wanted to show you his profile at 32. He's still doing the business for Liverpool. No sign of slowing down yet for Steven Gerrard. But this I find really interesting. The Premier League winners, if we go back to them over here, look, we've got our first season of our save. Manchester United won the league on goal difference over Arsenal. That old rivalry, it would have been Wenger versus Ferguson at this stage. 91 points was enough to win it. And interestingly, they were actually the winners in 2007, 2008, as well as, if you remember, United went to win the Champions League that year with that final penalty shootout win over Chelsea. So it's kind of added up quite nicely. It has reflected real life so far in here, which means that the database has probably been made quite well, especially when you consider that the second season, which was 08-09, was also won by Manchester United, and also really unlucky Arsenal in this save. Another goal difference win. 85 points, a low scoring points total for this season, but another goal difference win for Manchester United, finishing above Arsenal, Chelsea, Everton in 4th, qualifying for that Champions League, Liverpool in 5th. That's like the 2005-2006 season when Liverpool were champions, but only got in because they were champions and Everton dropped out after they lost that weird little... It was the playoff against Villarreal, I think, and it was really some weird refereeing in that one, if I do remember rightly. This one's interesting, though, because it was United who have won both leagues so far, and then the next season should have been won by Chelsea, and was won by Chelsea. 92 points for them over Arsenal in second again. That's 3 runners-ups in a row for Arsenal. Do they still have Wenger? No, Ancelotti is there, which means... Have they sacked? Did they get rid of Wenger? Wenger... He resigned, I assume, to retire, because he has retired in the game here, look. He resigned in 2024, which would have been only 1 season in, so 2008. So a little bit earlier than he actually did retire, right? Actually quite a lot earlier than he did retire. I wanted to also go back, even though the game is reflecting real life so far with United, and then Chelsea, I wanted to have a look at what Derby's points total was in the first season. They've got 3 times as many points. Fair play to them. They got 11 in real life, 33 in this save here. They did still get relegated, but shame on you, Aston Villa. Losing to the worst team in Premier League history on points there. They've only got 31. But Derby, they gave a good account of it. They have gone back down, though. How interesting is this, by the way? Manchester City, by this stage, had been taken over by their big takeover. They did have the money here. They should have big players, although they do still have players like Richard Dunn as their captain, and Matuidi's there? Is that Alou Diarra? Theo Walcott has ended up at Manchester City. They bought him from... Arsenal sold him to Middlesbrough after loaning him to West Ham, and then City have bought him for 19 million. Some of the transfers we're going to see in this save here is going to be really weird, but I'm looking forward to it. I hope they get more and more weird as time goes on. That Dean Ashton leading the line for them, look. He was a good player. Injuries really caught up with him, didn't they? It's going to be a bit of nostalgia, I think, for me, just going down memory lane and just kind of pointing out names and saying, I remember him. So get ready for that in today's video. But they finished down in 13th. How did they do after that? Did they recover? hang on, what? They've qualified for the UEFA Cup in 11th. Interesting. Then they finished, are they climbing the table? They kind of are, up to 9th. And then we haven't looked past this point yet, but yeah, that's where they are. Derby came back up and got relegated again. Bottom of the league with 24 points, which is a fun one. Just want to compare to real life as well. So we've got to here with Chelsea, the 2009-2010 season. After this, it should have been United winning the table or winning the league again. In this save, it was Arsenal with their first league title. 89 points after being the runners-up 3 years in a row. They beat Chelsea to the title above Liverpool as well. And then it should have been City with their very first title ever after this. And on this save, it was Chelsea. Chelsea should have won one earlier, but they've got one now. Then we're up to, I think there's one more season, right? Well, there's this current season that's just started. When we do continue, this season should be won by Manchester United. We'll see if that actually does happen. I want to as well, maybe I'll just do a quick rundown of some of the teams so that you can just see them, because I know that you want to see who's playing for who. Some of the names in there, like Fabrice Muamba playing for Aston Villa here, look. Tony Hibbert at right back for Aston Villa. They've been relegated and then promoted again, haven't they, in this particular save. Birmingham City in the Premier League, Steve Clarke is their manager. Chris Eagles playing for them, which is always fun, isn't it? There is Blackburn Rovers. Now, watch out for them. I have had a look at what they do in the future, and I'll just say watch out for them with Shane Long and Junior Hoylett up front for them. Marcus here you go. Look, there's the first example we've got of a new gen player coming through, but is a real life player. So Marcus Rojo is a new gen, but is now at Blackburn Rovers after spawning in Argentina. I keep saying spawning in, but I think you know what I mean, right? He was in Argentina and then picked up by Man City and sold to Blackburn for 3.7 million. We're going to see a few of these real life players, but as new gens. I want to just go through this whole table just so that in case you want to stop and have a look. There's Kevin Nolan captaining the team. There's Rob Holding as a new gen there. Any interesting players in this one here? Who's Baker? Richard Baker. Not really sure I'm familiar with him. Lorente. Is that Nathaniel Klein at right back? It is, look, as a new gen. Let's keep going so you can see everyone. There's Charlton in the Premier League under Pardew. That's a fun one. Definitely. Lozano. Don't know who that is. That's Adam Smith as their right back. Is that Darren Ambrose? It is. Is that Gifton Noel Williams? No, Marvin Williams as their striker. Here's Chelsea. Now, this one is an interesting one. And I've just spotted something else, actually, in the Chelsea team. They did win a title, didn't they? They've got Lionel Messi. I was going to say that they've got all their money because this is Chelsea under peak Abramovich in that proper era there. They've got the money to spend, and I imagine they're spending it in this save here. I'm just going to actually have a look at how much they spent. 4.4 million there. Okay, yeah, season before, look, £287 million spent. A lot of that on Lionel Messi, signed from Barcelona for £114 million. You imagine this universe where he came to the Premier League as a 25-year-old. That could have been a very, very different story. They've also signed Samir Nasri for £76 million, as well as David Bentley for £53 million. David Bentley. That is bonkers. That is bonkers, isn't it? I like it. Abue also for 20 million, who was at Osasuna for some reason. Morata from Real Madrid C team for nearly 10 million. Any other weird names? James Rodriguez, that is. Look, I imagine, yeah, he's a new gen. James Rodriguez in at Chelsea. I think they might be one of the most active teams in terms of transfers. 124 million the year before that. Signing David Luiz, actually, even though that's actually reflected real life in a way, hasn't it? 44 million pounds on him. Rulli in goal. Goran Pandev for 71 million is their striker. And just have a look at how good he is. 29 years old, but so good. Look at the pace and acceleration on him. He's their main striker, which is a really fun one. They did win that title. I'm just going to go through the rest of the team so you can see. There is Everton with Matthew Flamini. Arteta as a player, playing right mid here. Look, Leighton Baines is there. Tim Howard in goal. That Andy Johnson it is. And Fred, do you remember the Brazilian striker Fred? He's up front for them. Is Fulham. Moritz Volz is their captain. They've got Ricardo Vazte on the right-hand side. Arbeloa, look, where did they sign him from? From West Ham. Now, why was he there? Was he there? So he was at Liverpool. Liverpool sold him to Bayern. So he's actually ended, weirdly, FM does this a lot, doesn't it? It kind of makes real life things happen. Like, why has he ended up at West Ham, even though he did in real life? It seems unlikely for that to happen, but it has. He's now at Fulham, Arbeloa. Stephen Ireland, he was great for a season, wasn't he? And then was just not as good after that. Here's Liverpool. Giuseppe Rossi playing Gerrard right wing. Javi Alonso's there. Do you remember Jean? I always called him Jean Il Macoun, but I don't actually know what... Is it a 2? John McCoon, anyway, he was great on old FMs, wasn't he? I guess on this FM, he probably was really good at this stage, wasn't he? Connor Cody in as a new gen starting in their defence look. Is that Mika Richards as well? As well it is. Playing right back for them with Rayner in goal. Mertesacker has joined. Instead of going to Arsenal, he's gone to Liverpool here. I could actually just talk about this save forever, I think. I'm just going to get through this quickly now. There's the City team we looked at before. There's this United team. And I've just seen something. It's making me sick to my stomach. And I had seen this before, but I've forgotten about it. But Mo Salah, in this alternate universe, has ended up at Manchester United. And it hurts my heart to say this. He's a wonder kid who's come through as a new gen, starting in Egypt. United have picked him up for 300k, and now he's going to go and live his career at Manchester United instead of starting at Chelsea. Maybe this is where he fails in the Premier League. Then he goes off to Italy, and then he comes back and he's going to be amazing for Liverpool. Or maybe he'll go on to be their best player. I really hope not. But they've got Mo Salah, as well as Ibrahimovic playing left wing, and Ribery playing centre mid, and Maicon at right back, and that's not Bernardo, it's David Silva. It might even be worse. David Silva playing right mid for them. This is an unhinged database the more you look into it, isn't it? There's Middlesbrough, so you can see, with Stuart Downing in there. There's Gary O'Neill, I think, playing number 10 for them. There's Newcastle with Obafemi Marta. I bet he's lightning quick. 20 acceleration. Only 17 pace. I thought that'd be 2020, to be honest with him. He was all about his pace, wasn't he? Still remember was it the League Cup final goal he scored? I think it was against Arsenal, for Birmingham, where they won that trophy. Charles and Zogbia playing left wing for them. That is a throwback. Here is Portsmouth. Sean Wright-Phillips playing right wing for them. Jermaine Genus is in there. Any other interesting ones? That's Curtis Davis playing centre-back. Tal Ben-Aim is playing left-back for them. Their hot prospect is a guy called Jack Watmo. I don't know who that is. Mark Hughes was their manager. Here is his Reading in the Premier League with Hulk leading their line. How much have they signed Hulk for? For £15 million from Liverpool. Liverpool picked him up then, I assume. Well, it's not as a new gen, just because he was quite good. Loaned him back to Brazil, then sold him to Reading for £15 million. Hulk is in the Premier League, and I can't quite see how good he is, because I am currently, by the way, just so you see, I'm currently watching Man. Just another appearance for Watching Man on this channel, because why not? There he is. Look, there's our boy. And do you know what? I'll click on him just so you can see him. Here he is. Give us a spin, Watching Man. There you go. Beautiful. That is really... How do I get off this? Please. Let's go back. There's Reading. Keep an eye out for them. They do weird stuff in this save. Here is Sheffield Wednesday in the Premier League with Stuart Pearce as their manager. And any interesting players there? Less so. Some actually, is that Tudgay? From Marcus Tudgay as their striker. Sunderland. This reminds me. I saw him earlier. Cesar Delgado, tell me, did you ever sign this guy on old Football Managers? Please tell me other people did. From Cruz Azul. He was always one of my go-to signings because he was so good and so cheap because he was playing at Cruz Azul in Mexico. He was great. It's weird how Football Manager have kind of done this in this save, because he never did play I don't think he ever played in Europe, let alone in the Premier League. They signed him on a free here and he scored 9 in 11. But he's a real throwback for me, a real nostalgic one to find, just to see his name in here. There is, who's playing midfield? Gelson Fernandez playing midfield for Sunderland. Here's the Spurs team with Marco Reus, left wing for them. Rio Mavuba, centre mid. He was always linked with Arsenal in real life, but never went there. Have I recalled that correctly? Arsenal fans, let me know. Gareth Bale, look, here he is, playing left back still. Hasn't actually transitioned to a winger yet. He's still an awkward left winger, which is maybe a bit surprising because he's 23 at this stage. Maybe we would have expected him to move up the field a little bit. There's Ledley King. What's his injury proneness? I wonder if you could see. I don't think you can because I've not scouted him. Let's finish this off and let's go another 5 years into the future. Here is Wigan's team. Is that Jermaine Pennant? I swear he was at Liverpool at the start, wasn't he? He's now playing for Wigan with Begovic in goal. And we're back to Arsenal here. I don't think we actually looked at Arsenal, did we? It's Vela, Eduardo, Carlos Vela really making it as an Arsenal player. It didn't really happen in real life for him, did it? So, I've just seen as well, by the way, Serge Gnabry is a hot prospect for them, coming through as a new gen. His Villa, who I've just seen their hot prospect, is Jack Grealish as well. Wonder if he's going to stay at Villa and or whether he makes a big £100 million move in the future. I think we've looked at Villa. I think now we may have looked at everybody, right? I just want to check as well then. Champions Leagues. Who's won that Champions League? Arsenal are the holders. So if we go to the first season, it should have gone United, Barca, Inter, Barca. and then Chelsea. Instead, it's gone Chelsea, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Arsenal. I just want to see this Real Madrid team. Is there like Joe Cole's playing midfield for Real Madrid? Cristiano Ronaldo has made the move to Real Madrid for £198 million, even more than he went for in real life. But maybe that's just inflation on this. He did make the move then, so he has done what he did in real life. Very different to Messi, who came to Chelsea. There's that Real Madrid team with Casillas still in goal, Robben, Vucinic. Remember him, Mirko Vucinic? Was he at Fiorentina, I think, at one stage? Maybe it was Roma I'm thinking of. He was supposed to be really good at one stage. Higuain still. Pablo Zabaleta playing centre mid for Real Madrid. Let's have a look at Barcelona as well then, just to keep it even. Ronaldinho's in this save. What a player. What a player. Eto'o, De Rossi, Iniesta, Mascherano, Zambrotta. I love Zambrotta. There's the Barca team. That's the Champions League. I do want to see, there's been a couple of World Cups as well, which were won, or there's been a Euros, a World Cup, and another Euros, I think, so far. We go to that World Cup. It should have been won by Spain, but instead it's been won by England. Can I have a look at this World Cup final? Can I see back there? The World Cup has been won by England. 5-1 against Italy in the final as well. Oh, I can't see who scored. I could maybe go back and find out, but what a time to be alive that would have been. This is when Spain were amazing as well. Did they get to the semis at all? Spain? They went out before that. England beat Argentina 4-0. What a run to the final. This is 6-3 against Serbia. I guess this is like Premier League tax, isn't it? England are always quite good in it, aren't they? Did Spain win the Euros? It'll be the European Championships in here, won't it? France have won it. In here, it's Spain and then France. So they got one out of the two on there. France were the most recent winners with a win against Italy in the final. Italy have done quite well. They've got to a couple of finals there, haven't they? Let's then move through to 10 years into the future, which would take us up to the year of 2033. And in this save, the real life, in this save, it would have been 2016-17, where Chelsea should be winning the league and Real Madrid should have won the Champions League. Let's get ourselves to there and see what other madness has transpired. I'm really loving this. I hope you are too. Let's go another 5 years. All right, let's get it 5 more years then, following this Chelsea title win in 2027-28. Let's go to the next season. I want to show you this one because Liverpool have won the league. Get in. This would have been the 2012-13 season. So actually, the season before Brendan Rodgers went very close to winning the league for Liverpool when they, Slippy G happened and all that. But not to bring that up, because here they have won the league with 95 points. A very good season, actually. United second, Arsenal third, Blackburn. I told you to watch out for them. They're up to 5th here. Manchester City way down in 16th. Sheffield Wednesday, Wigan, Charlton going down. I feel like a lot of the same teams are coming up and going down again. Reading, I told you to watch out for them as well. They're now 8th. Now, has it happened yet? What I know is about to happen in this video. I don't think it has, but they have got Angel Di Maria playing left wing for them. And he's actually still only 29. And he was at Liverpool, and then he was at Sevilla. No, then he was at Reading. Now he's gone to Sevilla. So actually at this stage, they had him. Although it says he's still there now in 2033. So I guess I'm not really sure what's happened there. He was at Reading, and now he's at Sevilla. Maybe he's I don't know what's happened there. Odd. Oh, maybe that's just because they're last 11 that we saw. Either way, they finished 8th. Liverpool won the league. Let's keep going through. Chelsea won the league after that. Bristol City only getting 20 points. That might be our lowest total yet, right? Liverpool in 3rd. Arsenal 4th. There's Blackburn again in 5th. Reading down in 9th. City still only finishing 11th here. There's no real crazy teams, I don't think, coming up. Some of the teams we're seeing, Bristol City, I suppose, is the craziest one because they've not been in the Premier League in recent history, rather than most of these we've seen in the Prem, like Middlesbrough and Sunderland, etc. During sort of this period. Portsmouth has stayed up maybe longer than they did in real life at this stage, not quite sure. Chelsea won the league after that as well. Southampton bottom. City maybe making some moves here. Up to 7th. Liverpool only 5th. Portsmouth still in there. And then most recently, we've had Everton. Yes, you read that correctly. Everton winning the league with only 81 points. I've just seen Bristol City as well. They are really trying to set the record. 17 points from them. Just 4 wins, 29 losses in the season. But Everton, yes, Everton have won themselves the Premier League. Something that has definitely not happened in this Premier League era. They've got Karim Benzema leading their line. How much have they spent on him? 54 million to sign him from Sporting in Portugal. So he never went to Real Madrid. He was at Lyon, then went to Sporting, and now He's at Everton, leading the line for what, 5 seasons in a row? 4 or 5 seasons there, scoring lots of goals for them as well. Perhaps that's why they are winning this league title. They've got Scott Sinclair alongside him. They've got Scott Brown in the midfield with João Moutinho. Some youngsters, Milan Skriniar coming through as a new gen. Who's their keeper here? I can't quite see it. It's, I don't know who that is. Sebastian Chiboy, I think there. Interesting. Either way, they are Premier League champions this year. And then most recently, we've just had, actually, in fact, yeah, there. Most recently, we've just had Manchester United rising to the top again. They've done it again, 94 points. Everton in second. Who's in the United team now? Is Rooney still there? Doesn't look like he is still there. He's still their captain. Their key player, I did fear this. Their key player is Mo Salah. And he's now 25. He's wanted by Spurs, which is an interesting one. But look how good he is. 103 million to 309 million is his transfer range there. I was so worried that this was going to happen. They've won the Club World Cup as well. I've just seen here as well. That's not good news, is it? I did want to say as well, I did think we should probably check in with the likes of, I think Haaland should now have spawned in. He's going to be a new gen. He has spawned in. He's 17. He's at Bern in Norway. Let's find out what happens to him. Will he go to Man City as he did in real life after going to Salzburg, etc. and Dortmund before that? Kylian Mbappe should also, I think, have spawned in at this stage. He has. He's now still at Monaco. What will happen to his career? That's an extra angle of players that we can keep an eye on, I suppose. I assume Messi is still at Chelsea. He is still at Chelsea. And Ronaldo, we saw him go to Real Madrid. Is he still there? He is indeed still there now, 32 years old. He's unhappy, though, that they've sold Yosei Matsuda. And he does not like that. He's very upset with that happening. That's a little bit of an update this time around. We will go and check with the Champions League. We should have had winners such as in this time. Spurs have just won it. I've just seen that. Since the last time, we should have seen Bayern Munich win it, Real Madrid win it, Barcelona win it, Real Madrid win it, and then Real Madrid win it again. From this point here, we've had Arsenal, United, Madrid twice, which is kind of realistic. And then most recently, Spurs winning the Champions League. Can I go back to that final to see that one? See who they played in the final. It was against Sevilla. They won 2-1. I can actually have a look at the 11s because it was so recent. Radamel Falcao with 2 goals for Spurs, with Kroos and Tielemans and somebody called Smallwood, Richie Smallwood, in their midfield. He's playing alongside Radamel Falcao, who's just really good scoring goals here. Look, at 31 years old. Spurs are European champions, maybe exercising the ghosts of that Champions League final against Liverpool, where they would say that they shouldn't have had that penalty against them, etc., etc. I want to check as well the European Championships. We should have seen Portugal win one. In this universe, it was the Netherlands beating England 4-3 in the final. Let's have a look at this England team, actually. I'm going to find that interesting. There is the Dutch team with Van Dijk coming in. I think he's a new gen. He is a new gen, and he's ended up, which is another weird quirk here, he has ended up at Liverpool. Despite coming from Groningen to Inter first, Liverpool has spent £116 million to bring him to the club. So another weird one where it's actually kind of followed real life there. He's one of the best defenders on the game, definitely at this stage. He is winning European Championships with this Netherlands team. Van der Vaart, Robben, writers. They've got Tim Janssen leading the line. There's Ake. The England team is that Jose Baxter. That's Jose Baxter. He had a bit of a unfortunate career in the end with some iffy behaviour issues, didn't he? He's leading the line for England. He was probably one of those that was in, do you know those weird predictions that people made about who was going to be in the next Euros team? He was probably in one of those. Rooney left wing. That is Joe Cole, who's Real Madrid's Joe Cole as number 10. Lennon, Hargreaves, Huddleston playing in a European final there. Tom Huddleston, John Terry, Matt Dawson. That is Ryan Taylor, Leighton Baines and Paul Robinson making up the 11 there. Anton Ferdinand on the bench. Michael Carrick. There's David Bentley. Here's James Milner, a sprightly young James Milner at just 31 years old at this stage. He's at Newcastle. Stayed there? Yeah, he stayed at Newcastle in this career. And look how many games he's played. I wonder if he's going to get close to the real life appearances record. Like, he might do. If he keeps going as long as he does in real life. He's still playing, of course, in real life now, isn't he? And maybe he'll get that record that he's not going to be too far away by the end of his real life career, is he? We have also, though, had, I think, 2 World Cups in this time here. World Cups that should have been won by Germany in 2014 and one by... Have we had the other one yet? No, I think there's one in 2018 coming up. So we've missed one, and it was won by Spain. 2030 in this save, beating Italy in the final. Let's have a look at this Spain team. it was made up of players such as, am I allowed to see this? Possibly not, I guess, because it's 3 years ago at this stage here. What we're going to go and do now is, because I could waffle on about this all day long, and hopefully you're enjoying just jumping into this. By the way, I'm going to put this save file up on my Patreon, the Claytreon. So if you did want to go and jump in and just see how the simulation is done, or maybe play on from this point, the save file will be on there for you to jump in. And as I mentioned before, if you want to go and play this database, the link to Mad Scientist links and everything for it will be in the description of today's video. Let's go though from here up until the present day. Let's go and complete our journey through time and make it back to March 2024, which in the save will be in the year 2040. I'll see you then. And here we are then on the present day, the 13th of March 2024. It's actually 2041 in this save here, and in this time we should have seen multiple Premier League titles from Manchester City. How many? In fact, we should have had 1, 2, 3, 5 of them, and then potentially this season as well. We're going to find out where the title race is at this present day as well, maybe predict who's going to win the league this year. And first thing I've noticed, we have had our first Manchester City title win. They have finally come to the fore, a little bit later than they did in real life, but they are now Premier League champions. Let's have a look at how this season is going. Looks like Chelsea are in the box seat. They are very much so in the driving seat. If they win their games in hand, they will be looking like big favourites. There's that Yosei Matsuda as well, by the way, who left Real Madrid. He's now top goal scorer in the Premier League. Liverpool down in 5th, City in 2nd. Don't think they're going to win the league though. There's United. Any strange teams in the Premier League? I say strange with all due respect. Charlton are in the Premier League. Hull, Sheffield Wednesday are back in there. Villa are back in there. One team I did notice that never made it to the Premier League, I don't think, were Wolves. They start this database in the Championship, and I don't think they ever did make it. In fact, they went down to League One at one point before coming back up, and now currently they're in League One. Look, weird difference compared to real life, where they've done very well, to be honest, haven't they? Considering where they started from, they're now very much a Premier League team. This is the most recent season. Before that, I talked to you before about Blackburn Rovers. Have a look at what they've managed to do from this point here where United won the league. We've had Blackburn win it 3 times in 4 seasons before Chelsea won it 3 times in 4 seasons. And then most recently, Manchester City did win their first Premier League title. There it is, Blackburn in 3rd. If we had anyone beat the low points record, I don't think so. Let's go back and have a look at these Blackburn Championship winning, or Premier League winning, I should say, campaigns. There's Chelsea with 87 points, Spurs in 2nd, Reading down in 11th. Now, actually, before we do that, I want to just show you something that happened at Reading, which I found just really funny. One of their main players, I don't know if he's here at this stage now, but one of their main players in this save was Darwin Núñez, who's now transfer listed at Reading. What a fall from grace this is for our boy Darwizzy. Transfer listed by Reading. He's now got 3 caps and 1 goal, and he signed for them for 800k straight from Uruguay with his first team there, Penarol, coming to the Premier League and going and playing in the Championship, and now finding himself transfer listed with just 3 goals. How many was that? 3 in 21 appearances last year. What a fall from grace. As well as something else that I did notice happen. We looked at the new gens of Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland, and now take a look at this. Kylian Mbappe is a Man City player. He's joined from AS Monaco where he started. He's now City's absolute star. Is he their star? This is maybe why they're winning titles. He's on £375,000 per week. But just check this out. He played for Stoke. In this universe, Kylian Mbappe went from Monaco. Did he go to PSG? No. He went to Stoke City for a season on loan in the Championship where he scored 11 goals. Man, just imagine that Kylian Mbappe playing for Stoke. I love it. He then went to Lille before finally moving to Manchester City for £75 million, where, if I go to their team, he will be leading the line with players such as, I want to just check actually before we do that, such as, not Erling Haaland, who ended up going to Chelsea. Just wanted to show you that. From Bern, he went to Villarreal and then on to Chelsea for £152 million. Here is that City team, though, that I referenced. It is up front, Chow Roberts, who I think that is he a real player? Not somebody that I necessarily recognise. Maybe he is, he must be. Thomas Lamar's there. Phil Foden did come through the youth intake here at City and stay there. They've got Ferland Mendy at left back. Who's the keeper? It's Ter Stegen as their keeper. You can see why this team now, their hot prospect, by the way, Check this out. 21 years old Jude Bellingham came through at Birmingham, signed for Man City. He is going to go on to become some player, I think. Not actually known as a wonder kid yet, but he is their hot prospect. So you imagine he's pretty good, right? Their captain is a player called Michael Woods, who, I mean, that's an interesting one, isn't it? 34 years old Michael Woods. Thomas Dole is their manager. We digress again, and we do need to go back and have a look at these Blackburn Rovers championship winning, Premier League winning. They won the champions. They're champions. With 83 points, a low point scoring season. They fought off Chelsea in second on goal difference, then Arsenal, then Spurs, then Liverpool. Blackburn Rovers, let's have a look at their side. With Roberto Firmino leading their line after moving from, he came through at, I guess he came through here at Figueirense in Brazil. Signed for Roma, went on loan back to Brazil, Sampdoria, Udinese, and then finally Blackburn for 45 million. He's played loads of games for them, Firmino, alongside players like Declan Rice in their midfield. Came through at West Ham, moved to Newcastle, moved to Blackburn. £85 million bargain they picked him up for there. Casemiro's playing centre-back for them. He's actually playing as centre-back for them at 33 after moving from Real Madrid. He was at Liverpool for a couple of seasons and Bayern Munich before that. Chelsea, Real Madrid, obviously. Although actually, in this save, he actually came through at Sao Paulo, then went to AC Milan, then City, then Real Madrid, then Chelsea, then Juventus, then Bayern, then Liverpool, then Real Madrid again, and now Blackburn. Of course, now Blackburn. I love it. I love some of the weird stories. Joshua Kimmich is their captain in their, not in their most, oh, he is, he's playing right back in their most recent team, and Antonio Nusa as their right midfielder. They won 3 titles out of 4 years. There's another one, 82 points. Really low points totals in the years that Blackburn are winning the title, look, isn't it? 79 points to win the league. What's going on? Where are the other teams losing 7 games and still winning the league title? I remember when Liverpool got 97 and didn't win it. And then there's a team here winning on 79. What's going on? What is going on? Let's have a look at these other then competitions. Let's have a look at the World Cups. Since last time where we had Spain winning it, it should have been France winning the 2034 World Cup. And then following that in 2038, it should have been Argentina. But England have actually gone and won it again for the second time in this universe. They've beaten France 3-0 in the final, and I can't have a look at their team, but it's fine. We don't worry about that. Let's have a look at the Champions Leagues before we have a look at the European Championships. Champions League winners over here, look. We have had Spurs, I think, was the latest one we saw. They won it again the year after. Then Liverpool won it. Yes. Then Chelsea won it for a couple of years and Spurs won again. Villarreal have won it in 2038-39, which would have been the 28-39 would have been the 22-23 season. Then Chelsea have won it in 2039-40, which was last season when City should have been winning that treble. Bernardo Silva, I've just noticed as well, is at Chelsea. One other thing I wanted to see, as well as these European Championships, I want to see who's been winning the Ballon d'Or. I feel like that could be interesting too, as we see after the Netherlands last time, Spain have won it again. Croatia have won it in 2040, which is, I think is that this year's one where it would take place? I feel like that should have been last summer, but it's not last summer, so I don't quite know how that's happened in here, but they've won it most recently. I do want to see, if I go to Golden Ball, who has been winning the Ballon d'Or on here. We've had a player called Sam Griffiths for Blackburn winning the Ballon d'Or. He's won it twice. And Mo Salah for Man... Oh, he's moved. Thank God for that. He's moved from United to Sevilla. It's all fine. The universe has made things okay. Nearly 200 million. Mo Salah has gone to Sevilla. Have they won any of these titles with that much? Yeah, they have. They have been winning titles in Spain. Real Madrid have won some too. Sevilla have won some too. Barcelona, not as many, but okay, there's a few at the start. Sevilla and Villarreal most recently. Barcelona top this year, but Villarreal probably should win it with their games in hand there. There's Jose Baxter for Sevilla, by the way. Why has he turned out as well as he's turned out in this save? Let's have a look at those other Ballon d'Or winners. Bernardo Silva at Chelsea. There's Salah. David Silva at United. That just looks so wrong, doesn't it? This looks wrong too. Messi at Chelsea there. Wayne Rooney won it the year before that. We've had Ryan Babel winning it. Was playing for Liverpool. Ronaldo, Messi, Ibrahimovic for a couple of years in a row. Ronaldinho won it. David Silva won it. Ronaldinho won it again before that. There's David Villa. What a player he was. What a striker. And Steven Gerrard in second in that year. That, though, I'm sure there is so much more that I could go through and show you. And I'm sure you've spotted other things that if you've spotted something that you think is interesting, pop it in the comment section down below. And then, people can keep an eye out for it in the save too. That, though, I think is where we will leave it for today. What a fun database to just go and play around in and just see what happens. I think I might do a little mini save in it. Maybe we'll turn it into a video as well. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments too. But thank you for watching today. If you've enjoyed it, like the video. It does really, really help to push the video out into that weird thing we call the algorithm. If you've enjoyed the video and you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. Turn the bell on for notifications as well. But most importantly, everyone, go and have yourself a lovely rest of your day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.